I'm guessing like maybe not a support. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map pick of GLuck.
Well, let's see. Lots of the lower teams in the standings has been actually banning this battleground against KSB and Tempest because their quick rotation and ETC control has been so powerful. But GLuck choosing this map smells fishy already a little bit after watching Game 1, Wolf.
There's a lot of things you can do similarly with Probius on this map, actually. Like controlling the turn-in zones. Obviously, there's 2 of them, so it's a little bit tougher to control both. Good wave clear. Good poking, zoning across like 3 lanes that are close together. Maiev is banned by Tempest. There's another Hanzo ban, maybe? Let them have the Genji. See how... Well, I don't think you want to deal with a Genji and Illidan, any sort of dive hero, while you're playing the Probius. That could be disastrous.
Well, the thing is, this is not the best method for Probius, though. Since the rotation is so quick, you will be punished, and you can't really extend where you're at. You can't really go farther than the half of the lane. If you go past that point, you will die so many times. It's not the same, so I don't think Probius is going to appear at all in this map. Maybe something else, though. Last time was Medivh banned from Tempest, and that's open now. GLuck will have the choice of 2 picks right after.
A lot of discussion. Relic is the focal point of the discussion. They will ban the Hanzo again. I think this is what's up. Hanzo is so strong right now. I don't care about his nerf. I don't care if Ballistics doesn't want to pick him. He is so busted right now, in my opinion.
Medivh?
There you go. All right.
We knew this was coming.
This is what you do if you want to take this. You don't pick ETC here and then get it banned in the same phase.
Ace. Well, Tempest. They know Sonya Medivh has been the pair very strong when Sonya dives in. So the question now goes to, a lot more pressure goes to the solo lane for Tempest. Do you actually bring in Marthael here to kind of deal against that Sonya, or like a Blaze for the sustain? I think we really have to focus a lot more into solo lane. Maybe just pick it before the second ban phase.
Good question. I like the Malthael idea. They have Malfurion, so if they want to go Malthael, maybe Malthael Tyrael. Or grab something that's great for lane control in the early game, like ETC.
Zagara?
It's gonna be Genji. No Zagara.
Okay.
Crazy. Crazy. Junkrat. Junkrat will probably be the solo laner, though.
Having that range. And on this map, on this battleground, we don't really have a solo lane too much. We can kind of have the rotation going around all the time. And Junkrat is a great tool. If they are able to pick up Garrosh also, then they will just be tossing the opponents around.
Nubarak. The ban here. It's a pretty reasonable ban given the map. And though tanks on the side of Tempest, but the Garrosh ban here, I think that might actually backfire for Tempest. It might get stuck with the ETC pick. Or a Murden pick. Like, if I'm GLuck here, I think I just take ETC. He's so strong against the Medivh portals, so you take it away from Tempest.
It's Tempest questioning them. Are you ready for an ETC when your mosh pit is going to be cancelled with a Twilight Dream possibly, and also the Mine from Junkrat? So, they are thinking, do we also want the ETC? We have Medivh, and ETC is not the most tanky frontline hero, but we have protection. But oftentimes it's going to be used on Sonya.
Well.
And the best bet they have possibly is Tyrael, to make sure they have that wave power along with that Sonya push. So I think those two are the highest chance of getting picked from GLuck right now.
4 seconds to go. It is going to be the Tyrael. Ariel!
Buffed!
Oh my god.
Is it
This
going
team
to
is
be...
stinking, man, a lot. And we all know that when Milky Way sees the okay, so you
look at Dami's eyes.
Yeah. He's like, oh my god.
Is it going to be Vala? Is it going to be Cassia? I have no idea. Or Greymane?
So what about this? What about Zarya?
What about Raynor?
No.
Sylvanas?
But basically, the tutorial here is saying, like, alright, you've got Genji, but you don't have Divine Shield. Playing Divine Shield against you, it's like, cool story, Bob. I'm Milky Way, I got an afro. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this tutorial. Yes. And I just wonder what it's gonna be. There's the ETC counter pick in the Zeratul. Void versus Sank is gonna be a really interesting interaction in this game. I get the feeling we might see a Zarya pick here, something like that, where they just try to win the early game, push hard. Vala, though, you called it earlier. She got buffed too! Oh my god! All the reworked heroes! Tyrael minus 25% shields, but everyone else is like buffed and reworked.
Yeah, also the latest rework, other than Sonya and Medivh, Tyrael was reworked right before.
Yeah.
All the new patch, the latest version of Heroes of the Storm in this draft of GLuck. Well, this is something new that we have never seen yet.
Alright, well, time to find out if it's going to work. This is very intelligent drafting yet again.
Well, Magi just in the previous interview said Vala Ariel is, I don't think he was thinking maybe his opinion or his entire team's opinion. Ballistics was saying that I don't think Vala Ariel is not strong enough yet, even with the changes. But here we go. GLuck is putting that in work already, right after the patch hits.
Very scary scenario here. Blue Beetle on the Ariel this game. Let's find out how much healing to put off. The big reason why Ariel fell to play before double support was because her cooldown reduction of her heal was removed. That talent,
level 7 talent.
Level 7 one. I can't remember what it was called because it's been gone for so long. But then she became strong with double support. And then double support died, so she died with it, but she got buffed.
And there were lots of counters to Ariel, no cleanse, and lots of Chromie picks against her. And over time, she fell out of the meta because of those reasons and more. But she was buffed a little bit in numbers.
So basically, her auto attack damage was buffed, so she can more reliably build Hope on her own without a secondary support, or sorry, without a hyper carry. And her Detainment Strike cooldown was reduced from 14 to 12 seconds, so she has more potential stuns coming through with her abilities. And she had some other, you know, buffs like her level 20 stuff that she got.
Angelic Flight. She can actually be a global.
Kind of, yeah.
At 20.
She also got big buffs on Resurrection. So 100 seconds to 80 seconds and also range increase. Looks like Saren is going down here though. Oh, protected by the way. Oh, concussed by the way. Still got through.
But Warren's into the hero and actually heals up. Okay.
Wow, that was, he got knocked away from the portal, but still, impressive stuff here. If there were to be a Resurrect target, would it be the Tyrael? I'm guessing it would be, right? I guess Vala could, or not Vala, definitely not going to be Vala, but it could be Sonya as well, I guess. I don't think this is going to be Resurrect, but hey, GLuck's been showing us weird stuff all night, so...
Crystal Aegis, you need that to save Vala or Sonya. I think that's, you have protection, and then, in case of danger, when you have to save two members at the same time, use one for protect with the Force of Will, and the other one with the Aegis to save from the Twilight Dream, let's say. I think that's exactly what they need, or even from the Riptire.
Because the problem with Resurrect, and I don't know if, like, I mean, if you're playing Quick Match or you're playing Hero League, you know, it might not matter, but in the pro scene, how would you ever picked Resurrect if you could just save them from dying in the first place? Is kind of the obvious thing. Even if Resurrect was on an even shorter cooldown, say like 45 seconds, I just don't think it would be meta because you have the ability to just stop someone from dying, do some extra damage, ruin the team fight because they don't know when you're going to let them out of there. So you basically just, everything that your opponent is trying to do, you completely nullify by that Aegis. It's so powerful. And so why, you know, why would you ever pick Resurrect? Is kind of the big question there. It's kind of a sweeping strike build so far for Ariel as well. So just having more wave clear, more hope generation abilities herself.
GLuck does have okay wave clear, but Tempest, they have been superb in the rotation with ETC. Even more with the crowd server at 4 now. So that's why Tempest was able to put in few of their gems already. In the meantime, they got their own camp. Let's see how much push that they can actually do onto the middle.
Pretty strong push right now with the spell armor here. Very annoying for Tempest to break with just ETC Genji. Okay, trying to come in here, but just not having any luck. This Knight camp push, very successful. Meanwhile, bad matchup for Zeratul against Sonya. Scouted, revealed here by Medivh. One of the big changes for Medivh, obviously, is that he could place shields or portals while flying, basically, all the time, whereas he was unable to do that before. So that's like one of the reasons why he's super meta now, because he can just pop out of that Raven and save your life.
Relic 100% died if the protection wasn't there, but surviving all that burst, also the CC, using the bolt after all the CC was done. Nicely done by, nice save by Blue Beetle also. But I think they really have to be careful. Vala almost died too many times. Even Lockdown coming in with the Swift Strike almost try to snipe onto that Vala. I think that's going to continue. Even with the buff on the Vala, still low HP hero. I think Tempest will try to use that as their own advantage once
Tempest
again.
has controlled these lanes for the most part because the Junkrat pick is so strong here. So they have the turn-in advantage. GLuck hasn't turned in anything yet, and GLuck's gonna need to get a kill in this killless game to get one. And they just can't do it. They can't even continue to delay. Medivh needs to be playing more passively to defend the Vala, so can't actually be harassing like he'd like to stop turn-ins. And if I venture to guess, he doesn't have very many Master's Touch stacks at the moment. Has really been mostly in Raven form this entire game.
Let's see. Tempest is trying to contest how good Medivh is. Building into all the bursts, the pinball, the wormhole, Q build from Zeratul, and Genji of course with the Swift Strike build with Deflect. And one single protection can actually neglect all that damage coming out, but Tempest, even after knowing that pick isn't locked, they want to contest, they want to make things happen with the flashy play, with quicker timings with their mechanics here.
Yeah, that's actually really well said. If they can bait out the Force of Will early, then they can still do all that damage and make it work. Tempest is for this top push right now. Gonna take out this fort, pushing them closer to 10. They're definitely gonna have 10 first, given how this game has gone so far. They're setting up GLuck is Relic leading the charge for a pick here on retreat. Oh, they missed Dami. Could have been the one pick if we had a spear come through from Saron. Mine perfectly placed to get away from that portal. That was so well done. So well done by Good. I do want to point out in the last two games, Good has not been playing melee flex. He is playing, obviously, the solo laner, quote-unquote, with the Junkrat here, but he's playing DPS still. Range DPS, that is to say. 10's up, Malfurion's waiting. So looking for a big fight where he can take the defensive silence, or potentially waiting for a moment where he needs that tranquility to outlast Vala's healing.
Of course, also Void Prison. Great way to cancel their sanctification time. Exactly what they need to keep the teammates alive. If Void Prison traps Tyrael and Medivh only, then that's like the worst story possible for GLuck. And I think Lockdown with that kind of well, Dami on this case, I think they can just do it. They have all the tools. There goes Dami with the Q.
Very aggressive blade. They are going to get the kill here onto Sonya. So you do it. Zeratul now having the ability to just instantly teleport to people baseline. Even if just low like that, you just get on top hover just by using your activatable #1. Relic taking a lot of damage here. And this is going to be another fort dead. Bot is being pushed at the moment. Tempest has total macro control, and this draft attempt from GLuck has just certainly failed. Unable to stop turn-ins. Ariel still hasn't been able to get 10, so no ability to save targets with the Aegis. Here comes the second back-to-back Web Weavers. Is Aegis, Rip, Resurrect, Dream.
So GLuck Hit 10, Poly Bomb. I think they still have a great chance.
The Tainment Strike connects, but Lockdown gets over the wall. Ball is dead. No more damage here. Lockdown is not even interested in retreating here. He wants to do more damage. More damage. More damage coming in from Dami. It does get detained behind the wall and will die here. That was aggressive.
Just Vorpal and just use that wormhole before it was on cooldown.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, things happen.
Things happen.
And they're leading in macro, so it's not the biggest mistake of all time. Some of the funny things you see. But Vala, again, I think we're seeing the weakness. Why we see a lot more Tychus pick. Her HP is very low. Not even a chance to heal her or protect her. They have 2 tools, but even that's not the most safe way of protecting your own DPS.
I still feel like any other normal secondary support like we saw in the hyper carry meta would probably be better than Medivh in this case. Medivh, I think, is really great at empowering mobile heroes like, you know, a Genji, for example, Illidan. Those kind of melee hyper carries, even a Zeratul would enjoy having protection. But if Vala gets protection temporarily but then still dies afterwards because she gets CC'd, if Vala's taking damage, she's probably already overextended or is in a bad spot, is going to die. Like, it's not like, you know, unless you're running traditional double support like Uther Ariel or something like that, you're never really feeling like, oh, okay, like, thank God we shielded Vala for a second, it'll be fine. It's like, no, she's probably dead. Needs a second cleanse or needs Divine Shield or burst additional healing. Protection for 1 second is just like Tempest, like, well, we still knocked her to our side of the map with that concuss in mind, so
yes.
You're not really okay.
See, look at Relic. Relic was not even close in. That's going to be a kill. A reset.
Medivh was just watching, man, in Raven form. This is going to be a keep and potentially game if GLuck loses anyone else. I mean, they don't have any DPS here. This is a Night Camp pushing into this. Lord's just trying. Remember, original Medivh in Korea. Finally getting to see him play it, but he's trying to poke. He's trying to slow us down.
He's got the quest finished, but 3 levels apart. And Tempest knows that if they're into the small choke point, the Polybomb will hit and spread crazily. So they're never in that small choke point. They want to go away. And the camp times only when they have a man down onto the other side. Smart decision making there. Choosing your own place to fight, very important on this map. Milky Way holding so much. GLuck got no gems turned in.
Yeah.
None.
They've just been totally pushed all game long. Sony is always trying to remove the lane pressure by going into an off lane and pushing it, but Milky Way very aggressive here with this Holy Ground, but for no purpose.
Mine actually helping. Great Detainment Strike. There's the Poly Bomb.
Okay, that was a pretty decent sank, like in terms of concept, but
what
Void
a
to shut
Void
it down.
Prison from Dami and
Combo. Once the circle protection's done, he's looking for it, but the Riptire does go down. That's a big problem. Hyde gets the double mosh here. No interrupt tools, but it's still just sustained through it. That's the kind of damage Vala's looking for. That's the fight they're looking for. They get 2 kills. Tempest in a little bit of trouble here. Lockdown should be able to escape. Overlord's like, I'm going to get him. I'm Raven in it. No, not going to happen.
Riptire was about to connect. Circle of protection. Actually, I think the tire went down right before.
Yeah, it did blow. They did focus it down. That was really good focusing by GLuck. It was clear that both sides were playing that really well. The weight there by Good on the Riptire, but then a focus fire for GLuck.
ETC before the fight was very low. Had to use that Void Prison as a defensive tool. The save sign. Was well used by all starting with the Blue Beetle's Detainment Strike.
It's kind of weird what we saw there from Saren attacking the wall instead of the cannon. 4 extra shots from the cannon. If he dies here, it'll be because of that.
Lockdown is just desperate, but gets a CC, escapes.
That was a little bit weird by Lockdown too. Super aggressive. They want to get these kills. Once the protection is down, they're just harass, harass, harass. It's sustained damage, but it's funny because it's sustained damage from a Zeratul and a Dragon Blade. Like, they're just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to keep swiping at you. That shield's going to go down eventually. You got to get out of here. So they pushed GLuck back, so even though they took a long time to deal with the Web Weavers, there just was no extra pressure. It was just like the Web Weavers there. GLuck might as well have just been waiting in spawn because they didn't have any impact on any of these pushes. They have some on the top lane now.
It's all very damaged, but because it's not destroyed, they're not getting that experience.
Yeah.
They will very soon, but they have to pressure in.
Okay, Sauron being very aggressive. Gonna get punished for it. Good protection though. Dami onto Relic here. Not gonna jump back in.
Now Tempest has to wait for a long time. Mosh Pit is coming back, but because they used that blade just at the bottom, still 40 seconds on that cooldown.
Reveals coming through here from an Eve. The clutch is up. You could try to interrupt, but GLuck needs to do something more than just sit back and soak mid. I know they're down a talent tier, but they can't let the third web weaver push come through here for Tempest. That first one in the mid is going straight to core.
It's very tough. And the possible damage after the Void Prison. I think GLuck, what they did last time with that Circle of Protection was the perfect timing. They collected so much damage, but unless that happens again, it'll be a very tough team fight for GLuck happening. Okay, here it comes.
Okay, Polybomb, caught by the Rain of Vengeance. Dami saved by the Void again.
You don't want to go Q in. No, you're way too low. No.
No.
I know you may be able to come out, but no, not in this case.
That was a pretty good trade for GLuck, though, in terms of heroics. Void here for a Polybomb and a Rain. That's got 2 stacks. Riptire going to be avoided here. Is he going to use the jump? Running out of time on this one. God, that's a long timer in here. So the storm doesn't last that long in Overwatch. He's actually still coming. They do burst it down finally. Riptire like lasts about 7 years. They'll eventually time out. Well, this is not a good situation because they got so zoned out by that Riptire. Now Tempest is going to take down a second keep. The third one under fire now. Sank here is in time.
Twilight Dream also canceled. They can actually chase this one.
They're looking for it. 3 seconds on that Twilight Dream. Sauron very low though. He's going to need another protection. I think this keep should survive. Well, good things otherwise. He's coming down here. GLuck just can't capitalize on this death, unfortunately, of Genji.
GLuck spent way too much time. Of course, they ended up defending, but they lost everything else other than the core. Now, they do have wave clear, but in terms of rotational power, they're really slow. They're really slow. Oftentimes, they have to rotate as a 4-man at least. So, you can Tempest, they have all the time to work around that. You can hit 20, you push to end the game. That's the timing you'll be waiting for. GLuck still has one more chance before 20, but I don't think Tempest will fight at all.
Don't think so either. They're just going to play it passive. Just let the macro tides come in and out for their own, on their own side. Just have to harass and stop a turn-in. You know what? He could even let this go through if he wanted to. It's only 47. That's not the big issue.
Yeah, in Tempest they are so far away from their own, having enough gems for their own.
They're just looking for a mistake fight for GLuck to
just delaying because the top lane is pushing already. There's
no! Relic so low, blown up by the Dragon Blade. Twilight Dream here, gonna try to catch Sonya. The Riptire finally gonna go off here. And that should be game over. Top lane push, did you say that's what they're waiting for? Mosh Pit here, pretty huge. Sank gonna delay the inevitable, as there's just too many people dying in too many places here for our Observer to even keep track of. On the side of GLuck, Void Prison should make this a final 5-man team wipe. Tempest is gonna come back and tie the series 1-1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
But it took a long time. They had exactly what planned to go against once that Tyrael pick was locked. They brought in 0-2. Dami 0-2 was absolutely fantastic in this game, I gotta say. Defensive Void Prison to save Sign. Also himself getting caught later in. So well played. Tempest, they had a hard time in Game 2 also. Not as much as Game 1, but still coming back into the game, into the series. We actually have a series tonight, Wolf.
We do. And, you know, I feel like there's a lot of really well-placed aggressions coming through from GLuck. They're actually capitalizing on mistakes on the side of Tempest. They're playing very well when positional mistakes happen. But Vala here just could not do as well as they wanted her to. They could not delay turns. They had no control over the map. Let's look at the damage of Vala here. 38.6k to the 64, nearly 65 there of lockdown in comparison. And that was not as the solo DPS. Good ended up being the solo laner this game. He's on his own 26 there, but 280 hero siege damage. I bet if we put it to mark by like list by top siege damage to bottom, obviously Saren would be towards the top with Relic, but like most of the damage done is on the side of Tempest. They just controlled the lanes, they did more damage, they kept everything pushed. They were able to get 4 turn-ins that game. So on the other side, GLuck only had the really weak attempts to deny that did not work.
It's actually crazy that Saren has that much high of a number when I don't think they got a single fort. Not even the wall in the mid lane and the bottom lane. And we were pushed that little bit. Sonya was not really there. I think she was basically wave clearing.
Yeah, she always just ran bot to try to get some experience. That's why they were so close in experience for the majority of the game. Because Sonya just kept going over, grabbing the soak, leaving, grabbing the soak, leaving, grabbing a camp if she could, stuff like that. Really good usage of Sonya on this map. Just kind of constantly making sure you're not getting out pushed.
Sonya Medivh has been the pair. Now, this time it did not work. I think that pair's win rate, of course, will be going down a little. Tempest having an idea, bringing something else into the game, and really making that into favor. Dami is there to also, and can be a threatening thing all the time, something that they have as a tool. I like what GLuck is trying to do today overall. Game 1, they had Provia's 100% win rate, by the way, in Korea 2018. I don't know about other regions if Provia's ever came out, but we have a series, 1-1 tie. We never thought this would happen.
Well, that is going to do it for our first 2 games. When we come back, we're going to find out who's going to take the lead, who's going to take match point. We'll see you in a few.